just to make sure on things, he wants Jim and Bill to do another intro so they can rip on that dumbass some more. You guys know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that dumbass. But either way, here is the Pug-Cast, episode number 62, with Kyle the Pug, a.k.a. Colin Lodi, and that dumbass, Cowboy Nick. Here we go.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pug-Cast, episode number 62 on the channel, Kyle the Pug Sports. Now, that is right, we are on the episode number 62. It is the aftermath of the Super Bowl special, which we will get to the very first thing. So, first off, though, I just want to say for my main channel, thank you guys so much. I'm almost hitting up to 4,000 subscribers, and I have a Black Ops 3 montage for you guys that I've set up, and it's ready to go. And as soon as I hit 4K, it'll be uploaded just like that. So once I hit that magic number, it's going up. So that being said, I am, of course, Kyle the Pug, a.k.a. Kyle Lodi, and this individual over here has some problems with, of course, joining either the mob or the KKK. I don't know why that is, but apparently he wants to join either one of those groups. It's Cowboy Nick.
No, I don't. And how y'all doing, folks? And yes, it's me, Cowboy Nick. Also, folks, I'm just going to ask you this, and I want Kyle to hear this too. I said this on Facebook, but I want to make this a little bit of a permanent topic if you'll allow it. This is going to be one of those little parts I'm going to say to you. This is going to be Cowboy Nick's question of the day, and the question of the day is, what is your favorite team? Why do you love that team? And why do you support them? You can comment to me or Kyle on that, or onto Facebook about that, or you can call in and just tell us why. I'm Cowboy Nick, and let's continue back on with Kyle. Kyle?
Worst question ever.
How is that?
Wait, Bill, what are you saying? Oh, yeah, he's telling me that you should come up with a different question.
Well, I didn't have enough time to fully make it. That's why I want to work. I'm hoping
no
to
excuses,
work on it.
Nick. No excuses. You need to be more biblical. You gotta be more biblical.
It's gonna get better when you and I work on it together. But like I said, it's just for now. Like, what is your favorite team? Why do you support that team? And things like that. That's the question.
Well, we'll see how this works by the time it's all said and done. But anyways, let's get to, of course, our topics of the day. Now, of course, we're going to bring up Matt Forte being released by the Bears. Just, story broke a few seconds ago. Actually, no, a few minutes ago, I should say.
Yeah,
and then we have James Harden and Dwight Howard on the trading block. Also, probably trading rumors, so we'll get into that. And then we got Pebble Beach. We got scores and updates from there. And, of course, we got this real truth of why the Rams moved to LA. But first off, we are going to get into the Super Bowl aftermath recap. Now, I don't know if any of you saw my Super Bowl 50 review, but all I just got to say is from continuing on from there, all I have to say is, basically, I don't know where to start with this thing, but it just tells all of us that it was a very, very defensive game, and that both offenses were just absolutely atrocious.
Yes, but you know what? I finally get a chance to say this, and I'm gonna say this. There was one problem in that game, and that was when Denver got the first touchdown. Was the fact that Cam Newton wasn't thinking clearly, and he wasn't, like I said, you have to think about.
You want to know why he wasn't thinking clearly? Because the Denver defense was all over him,
yeah,
and that's not even a question of why he wasn't thinking. Because if you rush Cam Newton, supposedly the best player in the NFL or the best player on the planet, pretty much in the football league, you're pretty much gonna make him throw passes that he normally doesn't intend to throw a lot, but Also, in the other perspective as well, he's going to try to run, and then once the double team comes in, they're going to more than likely try to get him down for a sack, or unless he gets lucky, though. But other than that, he wasn't really so lucky in that game.
Yes, but also look at the fact that the injuries that were also caused in this game. But what I'm also saying is this too. When you look at it as well, look at the you look at this. What I mean by he wasn't paying attention by that. What I mean by that is, when you look at the play, that wasn't the right play to call. And then also in that game, for all you fans who are watching, if anyone else didn't see this, I couldn't stop laughing. But anyone else didn't see this, did you guys see that Carolina Panthers guy up in the booth that was screaming and cussing at everybody?
Oh, are you talking about the hearing of somebody just trying to drown out the announcers, you mean?
Yeah. That guy that was in there just he had his cap on and everything. He was just going nuts.
Yeah, he was like wooing every 5 seconds. I mean, I didn't really hear it personally, but I was pretty sure everybody was like, "Oh, this guy is annoying. He needs to stop." Like all over Twitter. I'm like, and I was thinking to myself after watching the game, I don't actually hear anybody saying,
no,
I know. I probably look back on it now, like on YouTube, and I actually heard it. I guess I probably missed it, but. So going back to Cam Newton here real quick, here's a stat I want to throw out for you. So he completed 18 passes, right? So guess how many attempts he had at passing? 47. 47. At least 47, 48 pass attempts, and he had completed almost just 18 of those passes. Talk about really bad stats for you.
Yeah, and the other thing that I thought was bad too was the fact that I can't.
And he had a pick to top it off as well.
No, but those two guys that were also on the Carolina offense that got hurt.
Well, it wasn't. Oh, wait. No, all I know is that Demaryius Thomas was the one that got hurt, and he was out for the rest of the game on the Broncos side. But
yeah, and then you had what's his name from that one guy on Carolina side that got hurt too.
Well, I don't remember any players getting hurt on that end, but I do remember Demaryius Thomas getting hurt. That's for sure.
They took him in the back or something like that, and he came back like later in the fourth. But the thing is, with that as well, Carolina's kicking team and as well was not as where it should be.
No, that field goal, the first field goal attempt by Graham Gano was unlucky. I mean, it was like going in, and then all it just hits the top part of the right crossbar. Of the up end field right or whatever it is, the crossbar, and then just boom goes off to the right.
How do you miss that? Like what was it?
No, it was probably just the wind factor that came in. I was just unlucky.
The first thing I said to myself when I saw that, I was thinking of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when you had that.
The laces were out. Laces were out. Don't just believe me. I saw the kick. The laces were out.
Yeah, like he's gonna go crazy and just want to beat up the guy who was holding the ball.
Yeah, I made that joke on Facebook, and then somebody commented on it. I just didn't remember who exactly, but anyways, yeah. I mean, back to the kick though, real quick. It was just really unlucky.
Yes.
I wouldn't say, how did he miss it, whatever, blah blah blah. I mean.
Yeah,
it's just, like I said, it was just,
too, I was surprised
Mother Nature just came into effect and decided to tell Gano, screw you, or F you, you're not making this kick. Yeah, this is how exactly what we're at. Oh, you're gonna make a field goal kick? Nope, we're gonna push it off to the right. Bonk! No good.
And the other thing that I noticed in that game too, is Denver was doing what I thought they would do, and that is, they were using Peyton sparingly, and mostly using the defensive game to play their game.
Well, Peyton Manning, he didn't really have the greatest of final games, which looks like it will be his final games, but the whole Denver defense carried him to this victory, and I'm going to explain why here in a bit, but going back to Peyton Manning real quick, I just wanted to say that, I guess it does seem fitting that he would win his final game, get his ring, and walk off in the sunset a champion, just like Ray Lewis did. So it definitely makes sense if you think about it.
He passed Brett Favre.
Yeah, and for regular season stats.
Yeah. So, but the other thing, the other thing too is
you think he was a bit overdue just to get that a Super Bowl ring.
I loved the fumbles that they used in that game.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of turnovers in that game, just turnover city.
Like Cam Newton, I can't even, I lost count on how many he turned over.
No, I think he fumbled it only twice, as I remember going back to my Super Bowl 50 review.
Yeah, it was just like, wow, when he did that, and like some of those, like, I love how they mosh pitted each other too, like how they had, it was like just a like, every so often you would just see this giant mosh pit.
Well, yeah, of course, it's the, it's the, big game. Of course there's gonna be a mosh pit all over the place.
But, like, I love how the announcers, too, in that game were just like, oh, he's got, no, it's bouncing through his head, no, he's got, no, and like, I don't know how many, and then, another thing I want to say this. What's his name? I can't remember his name now, but the head coach of Carolina, I want to smack you, because
Ron Rivera?
Excuse my language, but you fucked up your team so bad. You don't overuse your challenges or your freaking timeouts, you dumbass. You save those. Like, come on. You know as well as I do, Kyle. You save those. How many challenges did he actually do? Like, in that game?
You could only do two challenges, so I mean, one of them actually did make sense, but the other one was just like, why? You know?
Yeah. And then he used up his timeouts. Like you hear what's his name?
Because he got the second one right, but the first one was, I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
I don't either. I was like, when I saw that first one, I was like, seriously, I want to go down the field and just delay a game on the coach for being a dumbass.
Yeah, and then you're gonna as a fan, then you're gonna get kicked out of the stadium and banned for life. But anyways, going back to the Denver defense here real quick. Like I said, I mean, even both defenses were flawless and amazing, but Denver's was just a tad slightly bit better if you
and
kind of imagine it.
We all know Mr. Story was partying at the Super Bowl party. I was saying that to myself too. I was like, I know Mr. Story's so
No, he did like my status though on Facebook. I will give him that.
I know this right now.
Shout out to Mr. Story. Actually, it would make sense though. He's like Peyton Manning. This is his final year. Peyton Manning's final year. Both are walking off into the sunset.
Yeah, he's probably wearing his jersey too, like Mr. Story.
I'm pretty sure he did. And
his hat, and he's out there with the flag. Like you see him at the party, and he's like just like blowing the horn and everything, and just having like a blast.
Having like a clown horn or something.
No, he's got the.
I'm joking.
Vikings.
Okay, so going back to Denver really quick. I just want to say Von Miller was just an absolute beast in that game.
Yes.
The MVP.
Yes.
The MVP of Super Bowl 50. Normally you would try to expect like Peyton Manning but Peyton Manning's stats, he was kind of out of the question there, but Von Miller just absolutely kicked ass out there, and that's saying something.
Shit, I was like, that dude, like,
he was good though. Don't get me wrong. He was a great, defensive player even before the Super Bowl 50, everything single that happened.
To get that MVP, he worked that.
Yeah, he was just one play after another. He busted his ass just to make those plays for the defense, and that's exactly how he got the MVP.
Yes, it was amazing. It was amazing, and
and for the defensive guy that you are, you probably had a grin on your face when this was a defensive show. I mean, okay, here's my thing though. The overall game, I thought, was first quarter, second quarter, it was pretty fast paced, right? So, and then if you go to the second half, then it just got completely boring after a while. It's just really, really slow. I mean, this wasn't really the greatest of all Super Bowls, but I guess you could say it was, like I said in my review, it's definitely passable, but not by much.
Yes.
I've seen, Michael Jackson's halftime show in 1993, I think, was probably the halftime show for Michael Jackson, probably like in the early 90s, was way better than the game.
Yes, and I'm just gonna say this too. I did go to my Uncle Ernie's forum for a Super Bowl party, and yes, I'm going to say this. I did get smacked at that game because I saw you-know-who go into the game, Mr. Tom Brady, and I said, only if I had a sniper rifle, I would shoot him in the head, and both Uncle Larry and my Uncle Ernie both slapped me in the face.
Ooh, get respected. Get wrecked.
And the way my Uncle Ernie put it was, don't you talk about that guy. That man is better than you are. And I'm like, how is he better than me?
Ooh.
He actually wins shit.
Wait, what did he say?
He actually wins shit.
Oh, if I would have been there, I would have been laughing so hard.
Yeah, you would have been laughing. I know you would have been laughing. And then Uncle Ernie slaps, and then Uncle Larry slaps me and goes, "What have I told you about using your manners?"
Wow, just get absolutely wrecked.
And I was and I had a beer in my hand and everything. I fell on the fucking floor and all that.
You gotta watch your mouth because it was not very biblical.
No, yeah, exactly. They knocked me out. and then Uncle Ernie walks up and goes, "I gotta go to the barbecue."
Yeah, actually though, I didn't mean to interrupt you for a second, but yeah, you kind of deserve that. You don't disrespect other legendary players. Back to you guys. Okay.
He's not a legend. To me, he's more of a curse, but.
Well, yeah, that's how you got slapped. It comes with you.
Nice.
Yeah, it comes with you.
Yeah, I swear if Kyle was there, he would have had the song Gundam Style playing as they were beating my ass.
No, I wouldn't have that, but I would actually have the Benny Hill theme because they would be chasing you around. But the chase wouldn't last like 2 seconds. They probably would have caught your ass in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Because your size.
By the way, I have this for you too. By the way, there's a new thing you can also add to the for next year at the Super Bowl party list, and you know what that is?
Shrimp.
Yes, but what kind of shrimp?
Oh, there's actually many kinds of shrimp. Actually, there's regular shrimp. There's prawns. There's like a small shrimp. I've kind of forgot the name of the small shrimp.
But these ones you actually cook on top of the steak.
I know what you're talking about. I've heard of them before, but I can't remember the name exactly.
My uncle did that. He did those kind of steaks.
That actually sounds really good.
Yes, and he did, and he spent over he was telling us he spent over $600 on food and drinks to prep for this.
$600, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, for this party, and he did so, and it was great. The food was awesome and all that stuff. And I didn't do like freaking Kirby and and all that stuff.
Then again, you and Sean Riley will have a contest with that.
If Sean Riley came to my uncle's house for a Super Bowl party, he would have been killed because my uncle would have my Uncle Ernie would have killed him.
Yeah. Or either that, or Sean Riley would have sat on him first, and then again it would have been all over.
You don't try to sit on Uncle Ernie because Uncle Ernie's he's a collector of barbecue gear. So he has like a belt that has like everything in, like a waistband that has everything in it. So everything he I swear he looks like Tim the Toolman Taylor when he's.
You want to know what you also don't do? Disrespect Tom Brady in front of your uncles at the Super Bowl party. Otherwise, you get a giant slap to the face.
Hell yeah, that hurt my jaw like hell. Seriously,
you are such an idiot, dude. Why would you even do that?
I was like drooling out the side of literally.
Why would you even say that? Okay, but this is my thing though. Why would you even say that in the first place?
It was because I saw him walking with his wife, and I'm like, just give me one shot. Just one shot.
You should have said that in the first place. Sometimes there's just gotta be a point where you just keep your mouth shut and just respect him. Even though I never liked the guy either myself, but the guy's a legend. He's got the rings to back it up. He's got all these stats and everything, achievements to back him up.
I can't help it when I see him. I freak out because I consider him like Stalin from the Soviet Union. I just want to hurt him. So,
but yeah, if you thought that your uncle's slaps would have hurt, guess what I would have done to you if you would have said that.
you would have taken probably a golf club, hit me.
No, I would have kneed you in the gut, and I would have just did the old 1-2 and knock your ass flat on the ground. But
As the theme song to Star Wars was playing.
no, there won't be any theme songs playing. But either way, we're going to take our first break, and then when we come back from this break, we're going to have Matt Forte being released by the Bears, and also James Harden and Dwight Howard trade rumors coming up in the first hour. So, without further ado, hopefully Nick stops getting slapped in the face getting slapped in the face, I should say, by his uncles, and then we'll be right back here on the Pug-Cast, episode number 62. Hopefully there won't be any violence on this show, so like I said, we'll be right back.
Woo! I do it for the love, yes I do. So you don't care about the money, well yes it's true. And I'm so blessed to be fulfilling my destiny. All material things could mean less to me. Only thing I ever could need is a Sarah B sample with a dope ass beat. And get the mic check, all the levels right.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pug-Cast, episode number 62. I am Kyle the Pug, aka Kyle Lodi, on Kyle the Pug Sports, and this is a guy who likes to slip into doors, especially metal doors, and he likes to get slapped in the face by his two uncles. It's Cowboy Nick.
Both hurt like hell. But how y'all doing, folks? Welcome back in, and I think we're going to get into a special topic right now, aren't we?
Yes, we actually are, and no, it's not you slamming yourself into the metal door with your eye. Even though it would be fun to talk about. But for now, we're not going to talk about that. We got to move on. So it's, of course, Matt Forte, the second most productive running back in franchise history, will no longer be a member of the Chicago Bears. And it's a very sad story. Well, he's not going to retire, but he's getting released by them after 8 seasons with the Chicago Bears. And this is what Forte said on an Instagram post about it, and I quote, "Despite my best wishes, the days as a member of the Chicago Bears have sadly come to an end. I was informed earlier this week from the GM that they will not be attempting to re-sign me in free agency. I will remain forever grateful for the time I spent in Chicago and being able to play for an organization with such a rich history. My only regret is not being able to win a Lombardi trophy for the best fans in all of sports. I'm excited about the next chapter of my NFL career, but Chicago will always be my home," unquote. So despite them not resigning Matt Forte, and I'm going to say them, I mean the Chicago Bears, can he still be a productive running back wherever he goes?
Oh yes, he can. And think about it right now. There is a team right now, and I have been hearing this a lot. There's a lot of free agency players right now that are getting picked up by a certain team that's coming back to LA, just for the fact that they're taking anyone who they can, and it's going pretty crazy.
Well, they do have we'll get to that in a bit, but back to Forte here real quick. The Bears later confirmed that Forte's announcement on Twitter, saying that they were told that the running back that they would not re-sign him. Forte will be a free agent when the new league year begins on March 9th. So this is what Ryan Pace, the general manager for the Bears, said in a statement Friday, and I quote, "We recently met with Matt to inform him that we will not extend a contract offer for the 2016 season. These decisions are never easy, especially given to what Matt has meant to our team and community. We have a tremendous amount of respect for the guy. Matt is one of the great all-time Bears and did an excellent job for us on and off the field last season. He was a tremendous teammate. We thank him for his professionalism and wish him the very best as he continues his career," unquote. So, what are your thoughts on that comment from Ryan Pace?
It's those comments are pretty true, but I am gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about what's going on with this guy. This guy is gonna be I'm gonna say this. He's gonna be, for whatever team he goes to, he's gonna be the golden goose.
Well, I can tell you, I can describe Matt Forte in just absolutely 3 words for you. You know what they are?
What's that?
Fantasy football titan.
Yeah, well, he's got one.
Yeah, that's my 3 words, because I usually had him on my fantasy team, you know, like 3 out of 4 years. He's been an absolute beast in fantasy football. He's top 5 every single year almost.
What? His scrimmage yards are like, what, 12,700?
No, his all-purpose yards, passing, running, the works.
With receptions, he's 470
Well,
yards.
the receiving and the pass, or receiving yards and rushing yards are what matters most. Touchdowns, the works.
This guy is good, you know, and I'm surprised the Bears didn't do better with this guy on their team. But the fact is, wherever he's gonna go for the next season, that team's gonna have a great player. But the thing is, for me, there's only 3 teams I could possibly see him going to.
Well, like I said, we'll get to that in a bit, but as of right now, let's get back to Forte here real quick on what's going on. The 30-year-old Forte spent 8 seasons with the Bears, rushing for 8,602 yards and scoring 64 total touchdowns, as I said before, fantasy football titan. As a team captain, he led the Bears in rushing last season with 898 yards and caught 44 passes for 389 yards while scoring 7 total touchdowns. He earned a base salary of $7.05 million with the Bears last season. And of course, Pace had to turn down Forte's request for extension last offseason and appears to give a larger role in the offense to Jeremy Langfield, who rushed for 537 yards and 6 TDs in 2015. So, Forte ranked second only behind Hall of Famer Walter Payton on the Bears' all-time list for rushing yards from scrimmage, of course, with 12,718. Best total yards from scrimmage from rushing wise. Receptions is 487 and 100-yard games with, of course, 24 total 100-yard games. He's third in total touchdowns and 6th in receiving yards, and of course that's 4,116. So that's very impressive stats, though. Even though Walter Payton does own the record for all those stats, Forte had an incredible career with Chicago. There's no denying that.
And no, you can't. He is going to be on the list of, you know, one of the Bears legends, and you know,
he will retire a Chicago Bear. Even if he does go into the Hall of Fame, he is going to retire a Bear for sure.
Oh yeah, of course. Why wouldn't he? Like he says, like he said, on this, and I quote, "My home is Chicago."
Yeah, exactly. And there's no other way he could have put that any better.
Of course. And for me, when I see this, for the Bears not to pick him up, I'm going to be like, oh no, either they have someone just as good to replace him, or you're making one of those having one of those blonde chick moments, and it's going to bite you in the ass.
All right, so here's a couple of ideas I personally. Well, you were talking about where Forte could actually possibly go for a running back spot, or what team actually needs a running back. So I can actually give you guys, excuse me, I could actually give you guys exactly like 2 teams of where Forte could end up going, and I can say that for you guys right now. So first off, the first team is San Francisco.
Yes.
The other team would be the Seattle Seahawks due to the retirement of Marshawn Lynch. And, of course, I would say, since Frank Gore's on the back end of his career, I would say the Indianapolis Colts maybe with Andrew Luck and Forte. That would be a pretty interesting combo right there.
It would. But also, what I'm looking at too, because I've been seeing a lot of posts.
So that would be my 3 teams especially. I could see the Colts, the Niners, or the Seahawks trying to make a move.
For me, my 3 teams, I'm gonna have to say this. It's gonna be. He has the choice of San Francisco, Seattle, or he has the possibility of LA, because LA is, like I said, is looking for everybody.
No, but with Todd Gurley getting Rookie of the Year, the Rams, I think they're good on running backs. They're good with Todd Gurley. I don't think they're going to try to go after him anytime
But
soon.
like as it's been going, the Rams are just digging into whatever they can get. They're digging into it.
God, you are all over the Rams bandwagon, aren't you?
No, I'm just glad that they're back. I'm just saying, like, come on, haven't you seen the postings that have been placed on this?
Yeah, and that's a different topic we'll get to, later on. But I'm just saying, can he still be an elite quarterback wherever he goes? And that's the real $1 million question here. Can he still keep up those stats like he did with Chicago? That's one thing you gotta remember, because can he do it again? That's the real question.
I think he can if he has the team support that he had with Chicago. That wherever he goes, he has that same team support. I think it's possible for him to continue and maybe even to increase the amount of touchdowns and yards.
Oh God, especially with his role in the passing game. Could you imagine with him and Luck together if he actually goes to Indianapolis? Andrew Luck would. I could definitely see it happening though. Him getting involved in that passing game. That's where I would say the likely option could be the Indianapolis Colts. Now, that should be my guess for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went to to the West Coast or something. Like San Francisco, Seattle, and
the only thing with San Francisco though,
maybe Oakland for that matter.
Well, the other thing with San Francisco that could be a problem is the fact that San Francisco is not as strong as they once were. And San Francisco is their coaching and their GM core is not where it should be. So,
well, here's my we'll talk about that later on. But here's my problem with this whole situation. I mean, as much as I am guessing where he's going to go, I'm not going to be right on this. That's just going to be my pick on Forte's where he's going to go. But like I said, no matter where he goes, he will have an impact on that team that signs him, unless the whole front office and the GM just absolutely hates his ass and doesn't want to get involved. But either way, I can't really see that happening. Which I do. The whole thing behind it is we're gonna have to wait over and over and over again because the whole free agency doesn't start, until early March. So we gotta wait a while before he ends up signing with another team.
Yeah,
so that's where the torture comes in.
Part of my Facebook right now, I actually have a friend who just heard about this too, and he's saying that he hopes that that he goes to Green Bay.
I mean, I guess maybe Green Bay. I mean, yeah, it's possible, but of course with Aaron Rodgers, yeah. I mean, yeah, that would actually suck though. No, that would be a huge low blow, actually. Yeah, I'm going to rephrase that. A low blow to Bears fans if he signs up with Green Bay. I'm just saying, you have, a legendary career with, Chicago, and then you end up signing up with your rivals. Yeah. That would be a huge low blow. I don't see Forte doing that. He's not that kind of person.
I don't see that either, but
he's not a Johnny Damon where he goes from Boston to New York. Or of course, Jason Hayward, St. Louis to Chicago. That's not happening.
He actually did have a pretty good career.
Yeah, I don't see him being Johnny Damon or Jason Hayward going from one team to the other rivalry team. I definitely don't see that happening.
Right. But the whole thing for me, like I said, is just wherever he goes, that team's gonna whether or not they have whether or not they win or they do have and all that stuff, that he's gonna make a very big impact.
Yeah, that's no question behind that there, and definitely like I said, San Francisco, Seattle. I know I'm saying this over and over and over again, but I want to know what you guys think on this situation. If you guys want to comment in the description, or comment on the video, telling all of us where Forte is going to end up. I mean, feel free to do so. I mean, I want to hear some of you guys. I want to hear some of your guys' opinions on this matter, and it'd be really, really cool.
Because you know what? Everyone's opinion counts on this show. To all our fans, your opinions matter to us, and we care about. We love you guys, and we just want to know what you think as well. don't be afraid to tell us. And, like I said, with Matt Forte, it is hard for me to see him as a Niner because the other thing, like I said, the Niners GM area is just not where it should be. And
Jed York. Good old Jed York.
And it needs to be better, so.
Or you could actually, here's another area he could actually end up going. Maybe playing with a certain individual by the name of Tony Romo, but hey, that option's kind of.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Hey, but he is an elite running back.
Goes to Dallas and plays as a Cowboy. That would be crazy. Or what if he doesn't go to Dallas but goes to Houston?
I mean, they do have Arian Foster after all. I don't think Houston would be an option because, he needs to go to a team, like I said, that needs, a running back, right?
And with running back, Minnesota.
Well, not Adrian Peterson, man. Come on now. You're just throwing out random teams.
I'm just thinking of teams that didn't do as well as they should have this year.
No, Adrian Peterson was a stud this year. There's no question about that.
Okay.
LeVon Bell. Okay, don't even mention the Steelers either because they have LeVon Bell.
Why would I say that? I was gonna say Baltimore. What are you thinking?
Baltimore? No, I mean, Baltimore wouldn't be a bad option either because it gives Flacco another passing option. I mean, It wouldn't be okay, so I'll give you that one. It wouldn't be that bad, but it's gonna be one of those things where it's just going to be unpredictable at this point. So yeah, Baltimore, Indy, San Francisco, Seattle, they need to get teams with, of course, with running backs, obviously, and they need to go to the point where owners got to get together and say, okay, we need to make a good deal on Matt Forte, try to get the best deal out there at best, and hopefully you could outbid, the other teams that are trying to get to him.
I'm gonna say this as a lot of my friends have been saying this too. Now that the Rams are going back to St. Louis, I wonder, are we gonna have?
You might want to rephrase that one more time.
I said, now that the Rams are going back to LA, are we gonna have the Oilers?
Yeah, you said St. Louis the first time.
I'm just saying, are we gonna have the Oilers come back?
I have no clue. I know you're trying to relive the old days, but we gotta look forward to the future, man.
Come on, the Oilers.
I never said I didn't like them. I'm just saying we gotta move on towards the future.
Well, yeah, but who says the Oilers can't be a part of the future?
If they get mentioned, then maybe, but I haven't heard any news about that whatsoever.
That'd be crazy though, right? Like they can bring it back, and I've actually heard people actually.
The St. Louis Oilers, maybe. if you want to make yourself feel better, maybe then St. Louis can have an NFL team again and then call themselves the Oilers.
Yeah, or I had actually.
But then again, the name wouldn't really fit though, if you think about it.
No, I'm saying this: if they brought it back to like bring it back to Tulsa, bring it to Tulsa.
The Tulsa Oilers, yeah, just go all the way to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and become the Oilers.
Well, Oklahoma's got the Thunder, so why couldn't they have the Oilers?
Oklahoma City Oilers.
Yes. Like you have the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have the Oklahoma City Oilers.
The name doesn't really slip off the tongue, though. That's the problem.
Or what about Stockton Oilers? Bring them to Stockton.
Stockton, yeah, they're good for an arena football league, maybe, but...
No, I have an NFL team right here in Stockton called the Stockton Oilers.
Yeah, no thank you. We already have enough Northern California teams as it is anyways, but...
We don't even need the Kings. The Kings don't do crap, so...
Oh, you want to go that route and go... Okay, I see where this is going. You're still butthurt and salty about the Kings staying in Sacramento, but that's a completely different topic to talk about for another time.
How cool would it be if the Oilers? I'm just saying, how cool would it be if they bring back the LA Rams? How cool would it be to bring back the Oilers?
Well, it would be okay, but it kind of lives like a blast of the past moment. But I'm not saying I'm all right with this, but I'm just saying. We gotta look forward to the future, and if that happens, I'll be on the lookout for it.
If it does happen, I'm gonna be laughing.
Well, of course, you laugh at anything. You'll laugh at like a dog taking a crap in front of your house, and you'll probably laugh at that.
Actually, I won't laugh about that because guess who will be the one who gets picked to pick it up.
Oh, obviously you do, yeah, because it's on your house.
Yeah, and Uncle Larry will tell me, Nick, pick up the crap right now.
You being enslaved, that is funny. But either way, enough of this topic. We're going to take another break. And then when we come back from this, 30-second break, wink, wink, we are going to be talking about James Harden and Dwight Howard all being on the trading block with, of course, the Houston Rockets playing that bad, which we will talk about in a bit. So we'll be right back here on the Pug-Cast, episode number 62. We still almost messed that up. We still got a lot more to talk about. So stay tuned and we'll get back to you in a few seconds. Peace. And welcome back, everybody, to the Pug-Cast episode number 62. We are in segment number 3 of the hour number 1 part of the show. I am Kyle the Pug, aka Kyle Lodi, and this is an individual who likes to serenade himself in salsa for some reason. It's Cowboy Nick.
Serenade myself in salsa. You were the one at the break that told me, I told you.
No, you were the one talking about serenading.
Salsa, you sick.
Yeah, you're marinating yourself in salsa. You were the one that said it, not me. Keep in mind, those words came. Bill, did those words come out of his mouth? Like, seriously? See, thank you. Even he's nodding his head. You're the one that's sick for doing that. So.
You're the one who's sick for actually talking about it.
No, I'm just saying you're the one that have an imagination about it, and you're the one that said it first.
Why would I have an imagination of it? I'm not that kind of sicko.
Well, either way, Bill says you do need to get help, and I'm agreeing with him by saying you do need to get help. You need to go. I think Jim needs to take you back to the lab again, and then he's got to do some tests on you to make sure your brain's functioning normally.
I already had my brain test, you idiot.
Well, he says we're gonna do another one. Another one. Yeah, shout out to DJ Khaled. But anyways, going back to, of course, our topics here really quick. Before this gets any crazy, we're going to talk about 2 players that are on the trading block. Now, the first person we're going to talk about, James Harden, of course, the star player for the Houston Rockets on the 27-28 disappointing first half side for the Houston Rockets, is being discussed on the trading block. So this is a possibility that he could end up being traded to a team likely to need a point guard or small forward or whatever the position may be. And then we got Dwight Howard also on the mix as well. But he actually does have some comments that he wanted to say before countering this whole thing. But we're going to get to that here in a little bit. So first off, let's talk about the Rockets themselves. So the Houston Rockets, basically, who entered the All-Star break, have one of the NBA's most disappointing teams at 27-28 overall, like I said before. But they also have begun contacting teams about a potential trade of veteran big man Dwight Howard, a league source told ESPN's Chris Broussard in confirming the report by Yahoo Sports. The source told ESPN that the Rockets are doing their, quote, due diligence as Howard's long-term future in Houston is pretty much uncertain. He is expected to bypass the $23.3 million he is scheduled to earn in the 2016-2017 season to become an unrestricted free agent by July 1st. The trade deadline is February 18th. And the league executives also told Yahoo Sports that Howard's agent, Dan Fegan, and the Rockets are working together on potential destinations for Howard, an 8-time All-Star who turned 30 in December. So, your thoughts on these news involving Dwight Howard first, because we're going to talk about Dwight Howard, and then we'll talk about James Harden here in a bit.
Well, on this one with Howard, all I have to say is this. You know, honestly, I don't know who would want to pick him up. But they're saying the Lakers or the Celtics, but I don't know about those.
No, he was already with the Lakers for a season, and that didn't really work out.
Yeah, exactly. Or
so
the Celtics,
I don't see him going to the Lakers.
Or him going.
The Lakers already have a young nucleus squad that could actually be, playoff worthy in the next, I would say, 2 to 3 years possibly, if they actually get their right guys and they're possibly the good front office management and all those sorts of things.
Yes. But for honestly, for me, I see him going to, if he's going anywhere, that guy's going up north. Or he's going to New York, or he's going to...
Now define up north.
Toronto.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like up north. I was like, yeah, you gotta be a little more specific on that one, pal.
You know, Toronto. He can go to Toronto, or he can go to the other team I could see that could need him is Miami.
Excuse me. I could say Miami, maybe a team with a center, because there are not a lot of really big centers out there, so you can throw any team out there and they're likely to get them, you know?
Yeah, but like honestly, I would say that he would make a good fit with either Toronto, Miami, and I'm just gonna put this out there, I'm gonna just put this out there, just for the fact that they kinda need him, I'm gonna say Atlanta.
Well, I thought you were going to go the other route. I would say, no, these people already have DeMarcus Cousins, so then you were to say Sacramento. But either apart from Dwight Howard, though, I would say DeMarcus Cousins would probably be the second best big man in the league, and that's kind of saying something there. But anyways, going back to this thing real quick. So Fegan, in a statement to ESPN on Thursday, said that really wasn't the case. And he said this about the whole thing, and I quote, "I'm not, exactly sure to what the Rockets are doing or not doing with respect to Dwight Howard. What I can say with 100% certainty is that Dwight has not and has never asked about the Rockets for a trade, and neither have I," unquote. So basically, this kind of changes the whole thing now that he actually said that in this little article here.
Right.
So what do you think? There's obviously there's two sides to this story, and only one of them has to be true. So somebody's lying here.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking of what this story is looking like to me from all the studies I've done. To me, this is more of a tabloid kind of thing.
Yeah, that's basically the right word you should use there.
Because I don't see the Rockets giving up one of their money makers. But like I said, if he does go, it would be Toronto, Miami, or Atlanta, because those are the teams where he would fit in. But the fact is, like I said once again, I don't see Houston giving up their money maker just like that.
Well, 27 and 28, it's likely possible they're not going to make the playoffs. They want to be in rebuild mode, but I would be definitely shocked if they didn't trade, Dwight Howard or James Harden, which we will talk about James Harden here in a bit.
Now with Dwight, I could see that happening.
All right. Well, hold on. Well, going back to this article here really quick. So Howard reached Thursday by ESPN's Mark Stein and refers to Fagan's statements, which is quotes that he told him, and I quote, "Dan's statement is true. I have not asked the Rockets to trade me, nor have I talked about the right trades. I want to win. I want this situation to work. I chose this team, and I'm not running because we have been faced with some adversity." So, unquote. That kind of, there's kind of a bit of a flaw with that statement. I can tell you what flaw that is right now. So, I could go back to like a few years ago when Dwight Howard wanted to be part of the Lakers franchise. He said that he wanted to be a part of them. He wanted to be on a winning team with rich history. And guess what happens after a season later? He runs away to Houston. You heard me right. He runs away to Houston. He said he's not running from anything. So that's where the major flaw comes in. And I think that's kind of, quote unquote, bullshit, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's beyond bullshit. That is shit. That's not just bullshit, that's shit. Because I don't see him leaving. Ever since he left the Lakers and went to Houston, I don't see him.
He ran off, pretty much.
Well, ever since he did that, I don't see him going anywhere because I don't see him going back. Like he said, with the Lakers, hell no. Like,
yeah, off topic, the Lakers made that mistake for trading him, for buying him. It was that 3-team trade, and that was pretty much, it was a mistake.
And Bynum didn't do shit.
Well, yeah, Bynum was a 2-time champion with the Lakers, and he pretty much, worked with Kobe and Gasol. They were just basically a team that that team was basically, a franchise caliber championship team, and then they make the mistake trading him to, of course, the 76ers, and he didn't do, jack since then.
No. Now he's on the 76ers, now he's on the
No, but we don't even know where he's at. Who knows if he's even on the Sixers anymore? He could be working at a restaurant right now, serving up, seafood or something. I have no idea where he could be at.
Is this your order, sir?
Yeah, I can definitely see that. He could be still in the NBA, but who knows at this point. But I think if Bynum was still with the Lakers, he'd be want to be the you would be in the discussion to talk about one of the best big men in the NBA. But anyway, going back to the topic here. So the news came on the heels of a 116-103 loss to the Portland Trail Blazers on Wednesday that left interim head coach J.B. Bickerstaff calling the Rockets a broken team. And that's quotation marks, too. After the defeat, Howard and star guard James Harden met with general manager Daryl Morey and Bickerstaff long into the night to discuss Houston's woes. Howard was in good spirits after the chat, according to ESPN's Calvin Watkins, but wouldn't get into specifics about the meeting. When told about Bickerstaff's broken team comments, Howard said he didn't want to talk negatively about his team. However, he is shocked by the Rockets' record and noted that his teammates have to start playing together. When asked about when the team was broken, Howard said, and I quote, "I am not going to talk about what's broken. It's all we have to do is that we have to talk about the issues that we basically have. Nobody is being positive," unquote. So, as of this season, he's averaging 14.6 points and 12 rebounds this season, and he's played particularly well this month, with averaging 16.5 points and 14.5 rebounds in 4 games. So, and this is pretty much his third season with Houston, and he signed a 4-year deal that is worth around $88 million, in 2013. And sources previously have told ESPN that the Rockets were approaching the deadline to keep Howard for the remainder of the season. However, the team enters the All-Star break having lost 6 of 8 games and in 9th place in the Western Conference. So, they got some issues on their hands pretty much here.
Yes, they do. But I still don't think they're going to get rid of their the golden. Like I said, they will not give up the golden goose.
Well, I don't know about calling him that, but let's go to James Harden really quick. Now, he's been actually mentioned on the trading block as well.
Yes. Now with Harden, I could see that possibly happening because
James Harden is the best guy on their team, hands down, no question here.
Yeah, but
he wants to go to a team that has, winning potential. He wants to go to a team where they want to get into the playoffs, they want to win another championship, and, et cetera, et cetera. So, who would be even if he does end up, being traded, who would you likely see the team that would end up getting Harden here? Which likely candidate would you like to see?
I'm going to say for my first, because I only have 3. I'm going to say for my first one, would be possibly Oklahoma. The second would.
Oh, you want to see a reunion with Oklahoma between them and Westbrook and Kevin Durant? Okay, I see where this is going here.
Yeah.
Somebody wants a reunion.
The second would be Toronto.
Wow, what is it with you in Toronto all of a sudden?
Toronto is just that team that I think that everyone underestimates, and I think it's a team that could possibly come back just like the Warriors did and all that. And
no, the Raptors are not the Golden State Warriors. Don't even put them in the same sentence.
I'm saying they could be a team.
Like I said, don't even put them in the same sentence.
And then the last one I'm going to say is going to be Charlotte.
Now, Charlotte would be an interesting... No, but here's the thing with Charlotte, though. They're not really having considered, a winning team. But I would say more maybe San Antonio. I mean, if San Antonio wanted to get, their hands on James Harden, I think they definitely would. But the Celtics would likely be another candidate because maybe their upcoming success, but they haven't really been doing, so hot either. But Miami would be another possible location, like you said, of course, you were talking about Dwight Howard and all that. And Atlanta, you could probably put that. I mean, I could see them going to an East Coast team, maybe possibly another West Coast team, but how about the Phoenix Suns, though? They could probably be in the discussion here, too.
That could happen, but I don't think Phoenix would be a place for him because, like you said, he would want to be on a team that actually wins, and I don't see Phoenix as a team that he could that would be in that kind of forte.
Okay, so how about so the Dallas? Well, here's another thing too. It says there's 3 teams in Texas, right? So San Antonio and Dallas, that'd be kind of low blows, though, if you actually think about it. And that's the word of the day is low blows. So, if you actually see him going to either one of those teams, you say Dallas or San Antonio, what would your first thoughts be on that?
I would probably say San Antonio, but it could go either way. But I don't think that would be something he would want to do, since the fact that all three, the 3 teams are a 3-way rival. He would be looked at by his fans in Houston as a traitor if he went to either Dallas or San Antonio. And they would have a lot of fans do, like they did with St. Louis and all that stuff. They would have a burn party with his stuff.
All right. Well, let me rephrase my quote here really quick from a few minutes ago. Either a winning team or a team that basically needs to work their way from the ground up again. What do you think about the Lakers, for example?
Yeah, Lakers maybe. That could possibly happen, or a team that needs to work their way up. Okay,
I said, Boston. Boston is another.
No. Boston maybe, but I'm going to say this, and you haven't said this. What about the Knicks?
I mean, it's possible for the Knicks, and I'm pretty sure Phil Jackson wants to make another run by chasing James Harden, and I mean, I don't know how he would fit in that triangle offense system that he has. Especially with Derek Fisher as head coach.
Yeah, but you do remember what the Knicks said just a couple of weeks ago about how they're looking to bring themselves up from the dirt.
Yeah, after I guess they've been doing all right, but I mean, I could definitely see him going to a media market team, New York is one, Boston's another one, Lakers another possibility. I guess you could throw the Clippers in there, but that's kind of a long shot.
Well, the Clippers
Dallas, San Antonio, all those media market, in Miami too, for that matter.
Yes, or the Magic as well could be considered as well.
Orlando Magic. I mean, it's possible, but there's so many options out there. It's just
Orlando's not that bad for this.
Yeah, the options are pretty much limitless out there. It's anybody's game.
Yeah, but with the way they're saying it right now. Would it Lakers or Celtics? If he went to the Lakers, they would the Rockets would have a burn party with his stuff. They would just like when LeBron James left Miami and went back to.
No, I think you had that mixed up because when he left Cleveland to go to Miami, everybody burned his thing, and then when he came back to Cleveland. Then all of a sudden, we're sorry, we forgive you, and all that. I mean, sometimes the fans of the NBA are a bunch of scapegoats.
They do that, and they do that with everything. That's why I said in my topic on Facebook, if you're a true fan of, and this doesn't mean just baseball, but if you're a true fan of this team, you can't just stop loving your team just because one player gets traded or the team moves and stuff like that. You can still be a fan of that team. There's no rule saying that you can't love your team for the fact that you love your team. And I'm going to say this. I love St. Louis because it was the first baseball game I ever went to as a child. I love San Antonio because because I love the history that San Antonio has. I love their mentality. I love their coach, by the way, too. I think he's a beast.
But in football, you're kind of stuck and caught in the notion between liking teams, so you're a bandwagon in the NFL. And that, my friends, is where we will get to our next break. I know Cowboy Nick is going to stay quiet about that. But when we come back, we're going to go into hour number 2. We're going to go back into the NFL, and we're going to talk about the story and the history of the behind-the-scenes footage on how the Rams got to this point, back to Los Angeles once again. So, that being said, we'll be right back here on the Pug-Cast, episode number 62. Stay tuned. Hour number 2 is coming up. See you there.
She was a lonely girl in a cold world. It seemed like no one could console her. And she would laugh, but she was crying on the inside. And all this pain she felt inside, she just couldn't hide. But at parties, she would seem to act just fine and drink her problems away until they subside. And they did, but with time, they would come back to haunt her. The drugs and the alcohol turned her to a monster. But she didn't care, she was looking for a quick fix. Looking in the mirror, going out, new lipstick, wanting to be the girl that she never got.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pug-Cast, episode number 62. I'm Kyle the Pug, a.k.a. Kyle Lodi, and guess what, guys? We found out something new here, because we have a dumpster baby for our podcast partner. It's Cowboy Nick.
Fight me.
A man, not dumpster baby. Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm a dumpster baby. Yeah, my mom and dad hooked up, got drunk at a bar and hooked up in the back of my dad's 1981 pickup.
Not only that, but you were pretty much an oops.
No shit. Apparently, my mom told my dad that she couldn't get pregnant.
Yeah, then guess what happened? Out came you.
Bye!
Yeah, then Cowboy Nick was existing, and only if that never happened, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. But anyways, so we are gonna get to our. There you go. But we're gonna get back to the next topic here, which we're gonna go back to the NFL. But of course, we're gonna go outside the lines and behind the scenes, of course, on the Rams' official move to Los Angeles, and we're going to talk about that here right now. So, now this is actually an article that was on Outside the Lines. It's a pretty interesting little topic, too, so I want to get your thoughts on this as soon as I'm done here. So, on West Pico Boulevard in Los Angeles, an overgrown tree obscures a whitewashed two-story building sandwiched between a radio station and a studio lot. Inside, it's a time warp. The battered carpet is blue and the rippled wallpaper is bubbling, peeling off. Behind the glass is a showcase of dull trophies and yellow photos from another era. Everything that is labeled is, of course, the quote, the Los Angeles Rams. That team, of course, left LA, its home, for nearly half a century for St. Louis after the 1994 season. But on most days since, this nondescript office has now remained open, staffed by 2 people. John Shaw, the former team president who engineered the franchise's flight from Anaheim to St. Louis, and his secretary. They work in this nearly invisible team outpost at the Rams never left. So, one NFL owner called the meeting a piece of blank show, a nightmare, another one said. And yet another one describes as the most contentious and polarizing in decades. And on December 2nd, in Four Seasons in Irving, Texas, the owners' only meeting had a single agenda item, and that was which teams should be allowed to relocate to Los Angeles. So the inability of America's most popular sport to reoccupy the nation's second largest market since the Rams and Raiders left after the 1994 season had become a running joke. In the past 2 decades, at least 20 Los Angeles stadiums proposals have been designed and junked. An expansion team had been awarded to LA in 1999, but then, mirrored in red tape, sent to Houston to become the Texans. Many clubs have used the threat of moving to Los Angeles as a leverage to build new publicly financed stadiums, but now the idea of at least one franchise relocating to LA wasn't just fanciful notions, it was actually real. So, your thoughts on this first part of the article, Cowboy?
All I have to say is, and people say that I act like a child.
Yeah, you're talking about all the owners acting like, oh, this is just horrendous. This is, a piece of show, nightmare.
So seriously, they tell their players, like, what is this, like the boogeyman? Like, if you don't behave, if you don't do this, we're going to LA. Is that like what, like a parent would tell their little kid about the boogeyman? What in the world?
Hey, if you don't believe the story, we're going to LA. I would have been like, I don't believe anything. Let's move to LA.
Right? Let's go. I want to go see. Come on, let's go. I want to go see where the Beverly Hillbillies live. I want to go to,
Oh, you want to go there? I want to go. If I wanted to live in like LA, I would go to like the Newport Beach, like Orange County area of LA, because there are like many parts of LA you could go to. Because it's like so huge.
Rodeo Drive and have some fun down there.
Like Beverly Hills would be like an expensive place to go to because all the rich people and the taxes would be just absolutely horrendous. But moving on with this topic here real quick. So one proposal was for Stan Kroenke, the owner of the St. Louis Rams, to build the world's most expensive stadium, a $2.7 billion, 80,000 seat root venue in Inglewood, and that's pretty much east, and you know where Inglewood's at. It's east of the Los Angeles International Airport. The other proposal was for the San Diego Chargers and the Oakland Raiders, owned by Dean Spanos and Mark Davis, to share a $1.8 billion, 65,000 seat open air stadium in Carson, in pretty much the city about 12 miles south of Los Angeles. So most owners meetings are boring. That's right, you heard me correctly. Most owners meetings are boring, but some members pretty much doze off in this meeting. Groupthink often, prevails, but however not this time. For hours the owners argued and traded barbs. New York Jets owner Woody Johnson spoke in support of Kroenke 4 times to the annoyance of others, waiting to be heard just once. Miami Dolphins owner Stephen Ross joked that the league should hold an auction for the right to relocate, though some owners thought he was actually serious. Carolina Panthers owner Jerry Richardson argued that Spanos, a beloved owner for more than a decade had tried to build a new stadium in San Diego, deserved the market. Others insisted that Kroenke had land and the money not just to build a spectacular football venue rivaling Cowboys owner Jerry Jones' AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, but to return to Los Angeles with a transcendent football campus, as the owner later would put it. With a shopping mall, a movie theater, an office complex, and luxury apartments, the project had to be most paid in full by Kroenke, had the wow factor, and of course Jerry Jones would like to say. So, what do you think of all these ideas coming into play with, of course, the office buildings, the restaurants, the shopping malls, all that in one stadium? That would be just absolutely, crazy.
That's going to be a monster. That's going to be monstrous of a stadium. But
it would rival Jerry Jones' stadium if that, actually happens. I mean, it's likely it will happen, but it's definitely, it might be considered, like, even better than AT&T Stadium. That's just rumors about it, too.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. For all you people out there who ever thought, who said, let's have an auction, there's no one in the...
I mean, this is the thing, though, too. If you have an auction on this, whole thing, you're just absolutely retarded.
Yeah, but there's no way that anyone's going to buy... There's no way anyone's going to buy Miami because they suck too much.
Well, that's you're talking about a completely different topic there, but...
The owner of the Miami saying, of the Miami Dolphins, let's have an auction. Dude, I know you are want to get out of your market because your team sucks so much, but I'm going to say this. No one's going to...
Well, the Dolphins weren't that bad, but there were a lot of teams that were worse than the Dolphins, obviously, but... San Francisco can be an example. But anyways, going back to the topic here real quick, the dueling proposals did not only represent the NFL's most recent best opportunity to return to Los Angeles, but they had also become a centerpiece of a chaotic power struggle among the league's 32 owners between the so-called new group money with members who all supported Inglewood and the old guard, most of whom favored Carson, pretty much, going into play. Going into the meeting, most believed Carson would have more votes, but one moment many later recall seemed to halt its momentum. Michael Bidwell, president of the Cardinals and a Carson supporter, argued that the NFL doesn't exist just to make rich owners richer. Owners needed to consider what they would be best for the league, and Jerry Jones cut him off by saying, and I quote, "When you guys moved the team from St. Louis to Phoenix, it wasn't about the money?" And as Bidwell tried to answer, Jones moved in for the kill, and he said, "You did it for the money," unquote. So, your thoughts on that piece of the argument right there?
All I have to say is, they might have did it for the money, but the other.
Well, obviously, we live in a world here where anybody will do anything for money here, and that's just pretty much,
Yep.
no matter what kind of workplace you're in.
Yeah, but the other thing is, I'm gonna say this. It wasn't that you could say it wasn't really done for money, but it was done because if you think about it, St. Louis wasn't really doing what it should have done for the Rams. The Rams weren't making weren't building their team wasn't building right. They weren't getting the rank that they should have, and they weren't having the ability to build what they need. And LA provides them with that, because if you think about it, when you come to California and you look at the way that we do things out here, we really have what what the Rams need to build a better team and maybe build a better GM foundation.
Well, here's something I can tell you about the whole Rams situation. Just look at the home games that the Rams had while they were in St. Louis at the time, and I've said this many times. So you look at the Rams home games, right? They barely even sold out any of the games. Like, nobody was showing up to any of the games. And then you had all these Ram fans who just absolutely I'm not just Ram fans, but St. Louis fans who just absolutely went berserk about the whole situation where the Rams are moving back to LA, and then all of a sudden, they're going berserk over the fact that they actually were pissed off, and they were actually going to sue Stan Kroenke for, of course, moving the team back to Los Angeles. Now, I can tell you who's at fault here. It's obviously the whole St. Louis fan base system over there. For a couple of reasons, too. It's, number one, for the fact is that it's their fault because they didn't show up to the games, and that's why the games never sold out over the St. Louis home games. The other fact being that, of course, that they're a bunch of crybabies for saying that the Rams were saying that they're okay, yeah, we're going to sue you guys, blah, 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 for all this. I mean, this is basically for all these reasons here. You look at the fans and say, if you can't accept the fact that the team's moving to LA, you know what you need to do? You just need, excuse my language, but you need to grow the fuck up, seriously.
Yes. And the other thing, too, that I did some research on this as well.
I just hate it when fans just go off like that. They're a bunch of hypocrites.
Yeah, but also, too, when I did some research by talking to a couple of friends that I know who were over there, and I actually talked to them, and they actually told me that they rarely sold the t-shirt. They rarely sold
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's why the business wasn't doing so well over there. And St. Louis is more of a baseball and hockey town because the St. Louis Cardinals, they sell more merchandise, and the Blues sell more, merchandise also more than the St. Louis. I mean, yeah, the Rams never sold any merchandise. It was more.
They're charging $12+.
Yeah, because it was more St. Louis Cardinals than St. Louis Blues anyway. So it's more of a hockey town and baseball town.
Plus, at the stadium. You go over there for a soft drink. It was $12 for a soft drink, and a hot dog was $20.
And yeah, and you're talking about in the Edward Jones Dome, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, especially, yeah. I mean, that's why nobody went to the games over there anyway. So
yeah, your prices are too high.
Well, it's not just that though, but the fan base, the support was just not there at all, just for the whole entire team.
Kyle, honestly, would you go up there and for one hot dog, and this is without any condiments, is $20, and they charge you $1 for each condiment you add on to your hot dog?
No, I would not do that.
Why do you think people wouldn't do that? Like who would do that? Like, who would want to go to an arena and, okay, sir, here's your hot dog. Every condiment you add is $1.
Alright, well, going back here, I want to go back in time a little bit to 2 years earlier before the whole thing was met out. So, Kroenke and Spanos had met for a private dinner at Bastro Steakhouse in Beverly Hills. At the corner table, the two talked, coordinately in the quiet beginning to a 29-month saga that would end on January 12th of this year in a Houston hotel. Back then, neither man could have guessed that the league's return to Los Angeles would become so bloody, bitter, and most of all, emblematic of how power in the NFL truly works. In this closed-door meetings of Los Angeles, Chicago, Dallas, and New York, and finally Houston, owners belittled the undercut, even bullied each other in ways never before witnessed. According to interviews with, of course, more than 24 owners, league officials, team executives, lawyers, and staffers involved in the relocation efforts, many of whom requested the anonymity due to the sensitivity of the negotiations. The split between owners had as much to do with personal loyalties as it did with the appeal of the two stadium proposals. The ruthlessness of Kroenke was fixed in the sharp relief against the evidence of Dean Spanos, and of course the savvy of Jones, who led the league new money Inglewood supporters, clashed with the brute force of Richardson, leader of the old money Carson backers. Bob Iger, chairman and CEO of the Walt Disney Company, which owns ESPN, was enlisted to run the Carson project with hope of this, that the star power could offset Kroenke's money, but it wasn't enough. At the end, no owner would feel more pain than Spanos, the league loyalist, who did everything his peers asked of him, only to be forced to work out a saving partnership with the man who had beaten him to LA, in a process that would be likely won't be resolved until 2017. So your thoughts on that story 2 years earlier?
Well, I think that it was that what St. Louis is doing right now, or should I say, LA, has done. It was done because of the fact that they had to save the team. The team needed to be saved, and the team needed to be brought back to where it's going. And also what the team has been, like, as I've been reading a lot of, you go on Facebook and you read a lot of fan comments and stuff. I've been reading a lot of these fan comments, and no, I'm not bandwagoning on this, but there was one comment that I did read, and this was from a little kid who was in one of the children's hospitals out here, and the kid, they didn't say what children's hospital, but the kid wrote, "Finally, I am able to see the team that I've always wanted to see back. I could finally go and actually see," and I'm reading it right now, the kid said, unquote, yes, I could finally go and see the team that I've always wanted to see. My mom told me for the longest time that I could never go and see this team, but now that they're home, I can go and see my team. Finally, I could finally be at peace, unquote.
So that basically tells you that even children's wishes, you gotta listen. Well, it's not the fact that, of course, you gotta listen to the hearts of children also. But if you fulfilled a child's wish like that, then it definitely will make them happy. I mean, you couldn't have a better storybook ending to that comment.
Yeah, the kid had cancer, for crying out loud. How can you not want to,
let me ask you another question here. Did the kid get any hate comments? Because if he did, I feel so sorry for those people who hated the kid.
No, people were saying, "Way to go!" On the comment, it says right here, like one of
That's good. I wanted to hear that answer. That is actually good. I didn't want to go into the next minute, running my mouth against, people who hated the kid's comments. But it was just one of those moments where you gotta fulfill the child's wish, and of course, it's like the whole, I guess you could call it like a My Wish thing that they do on ESPN, fulfilling the child's wishes on certain objectives and other things. But I'm glad the child actually got his wish done. And pretty much for every fan, of course, LA Ram fan now, including myself. I'm happy camper, of course, but everybody got their wish. The whole thing's been going on for the past 5 years, them moving to LA, saving the team, and boom, here we are right now. The Rams are back in LA where they belong.
Are you gonna put on your blue and gold?
If I had anything Ram related, I used to, but not right now, but I might find something sooner or later. I just don't know what.
Just go on NFL.com. You'll just look on the site. You'll find all what you need for your stuff. Right now, I'm seeing I'm looking at this Ram Club thing. This one guy right here. His name
all right, well, you're gonna have to hold it. You're gonna have to hold that thought before coming back to the break, because we have to take another break. And then when we come back from this break, we're gonna be talking about the updates of Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Very important golf tournament, even though it's not a major, but it's very local, and we gotta talk about it. So, we'll bring you the updates of the AT&T Pebble Beach here coming up in our next segment of the Pug-Cast, episode number 62, and we'll be right back here after a few seconds. We'll see you then.
And if we crash, who's going back there again? And don't pretend to be my friend. I guess I'll see you later then. And if only you weren't so lonely, driving your car into the sea, let the currents take you down.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pug-Cast, episode number 62. I'm Kyle the Pug, a.k.a. Kyle Lodi, and this, of course, is a very well-respected individual who's not saying that he's going to do anything this time. It's Cowboy Nick.
How y'all doing, folks? And I hope you're having a great time as well as I am, and I'm enjoying right now looking at the scoreboard right now, and I couldn't be happier looking at Pebble Beach's scoreboard Pro-Am and seeing my boy.
And that's where we're going to get to right now. So, as of right now, we are in round 2 of AT&T Pebble Beach National Pro-Am. Of course, that's located here in Northern California. And of course, we'll talk about the celebrity thing coming up later on. But right now, we're going to get to the scoreboard and the leaderboards, which we are actually looking at a 3-way tie for first place. And the most interesting part of the 3-way tie is that Phil Mickelson is, of course, 10 under, under overall, but he's shooting 6 under for the day.
Yes, he is, but I'm just happy that he's doing as good as he is. I'm just gonna say, come on, I'm just gonna say this, come on, Phil, let's go, buddy, let's go and win this thing for all those children with polio.
Yeah, and I know Phil hasn't done anything, relevant, and he's trying to actually turn it around here in 2016 to try to make a name for himself. I know this isn't a major tournament, but it's actually one of the more non-major tournaments, along with, TPC Sawgrass and everything, is actually, people can actually watch. So, and let's go to the other people that are in, this 3-way tie for first place with Phil Mickelson, which is it should be a very interesting situation here. And we're going to talk about Chez Reavie, which of course is he's 10 under also. He's in the second round, and he was in that starting position also at number 1. So he started that in round 2. And now he's in their 3-way tie with Phil Mickelson, and he's actually on the 11th hole as we speak. Actually, no, I take that back. He's on the 12th hole, and he's finished through 11 as with Phil Mickelson. He's now on the 13th hole.
Yes, but when you look at this as well, when you also look at this, you look at this, it's pretty good. Phil's is still really.
He's been tearing it up today. 6 under. I wouldn't complain if I shot 6 under.
Hell no,
I would be enthralled if I shot 6 under overall.
Dude, I would be in the golf cart. Going around with a megaphone, screaming it to everybody.
Yeah, I know you like to brag a lot, Cowboy. That's how you roll.
I just shot under 6 under par.
Yeah, totally. And then the third person we're gonna get into is Hiroshi Iwata. Is also a name that's in the 3-way tie for first place. He's been actually getting up there a bit too.
Yeah, this guy though is for me, Iwata is I've seen him play before, I just don't know about him. Like, him being in this three-way tie, I just don't know about him. From what I've heard about him, he's not.
Yeah, I mean, he's shooting 5 under right now through 7 holes, which of course he's actually doing really, really well along with Phil Mickelson.
Exactly. So I don't know. Like in this one, it could go. It's like for me, it's gonna. I'm hoping Mickelson wins this, but it could go. It could go either way.
Well, at this point, you have to take the field because you don't know who's gonna win here.
No, you don't. Like you just watch the game and enjoy it for what it is. But with Phil Mickelson, I love how he just uses that long ball and he just feels it.
No, he's more of a short game kind of person.
He is,
his strongest part of his golf game is the short game with the chipping and his putting.
But what I mean is, I love how he feels the field. Like when he gets out there, you look at him, like you can see the photo of him on ESPN that they have right here. He just looks like there's nothing bothering him. He's
very calm, collected, and composed. No matter what his, even if he's shooting over par. I mean, if he does shoot over par, that means he's not really, he's not getting his rhythm together. But either way, I mean, he's doing all right though.
Yeah, he's just going out there, doing what he has to do.
Yeah, I mean, definitely for sure. I mean, if he can continue that composure going on to the third and fourth or final rounds, I think he would definitely have a good shot of winning AT&T Pebble Beach, which is I've actually been to that whole golf course before.
It's a beautiful golf course.
Yeah, especially where the U.S. Open was being played in the 16 years ago, where Tiger Woods had that incredible record-setting performance, and I was just there. I was glad to witness something really, really epic and legendary. So. That being said,
I haven't seen anything with him in a while.
Okay, so let's talk about another person that could be mentioned in this conversation to make more than likely win the whole golf tournament. Justin Rose is another one too.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, because he shot 6 under in round 1, and now currently he's on round 2, and he's actually he's been doing okay though. First off.
Yeah, but look at where he stands right now.
Yeah, he's in 4th place, and he's definitely not that far behind.
No, but the one I'm seeing that is far behind that I'm worried about is Holmes.
Well, JB Holmes, it's not bad. He's in 6th place, but he's only 2 shots back. See, that's the one thing that's easy with golf. I mean, it could say you're like in 6th place, and you can only be like 2 shots back, so it's not that bad.
But I've seen him do, but like as you know, and a lot of people have seen in his golfing career, he has done better.
Yeah, and then of course you got people like, of course, Ricky Barnes for that matter, and of course Sean O'Hare, and of course Stuart Sink, and then Dustin Johnson, and the funny thing is that you don't really see Jordan Spieth's name anywhere because he was actually really struggling throughout the whole first round and somewhat of the second round too.
You know who I'm liking, like right now, who I'm kind of curious about? I'm curious about this Australian guy. What's his name? Boltwich?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Adam Scott, but never mind.
But this Boltwich guy, he's not doing too bad himself.
Yeah, it's only round 2, and you have a long way to go here with the tournament. So, like I said, anything goes here at this point.
Yeah, but like I said, but the one guy I'm seeing who's gonna, he's not gonna, it's not gonna, like, people are gonna say, oh, he's gonna say he's gonna win. No, I'm not saying that. But the one I think who's gonna walk out with a good day today, most likely is walking out with a good day today. It's gonna have to go to Phil because with the way he's hitting right now, it just looks like he's gonna have a pretty good day.
Oh, and here's the thing, though, too. Even, I was talking about Jordan Spieth being on the list. I don't even see him on the scoreboard.
I don't either. I have not seen him. I've looked at that. I don't see him
and then,
at all.
You know what that's going to tell you? Then it's more than likely he's going to tell you that he's going to miss the cut unless he, goes off.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you would expect more from Jordan Spieth, but at the end of the day, it's just going to be one of those situations where you have a bad tournament, you learn from it, and then move on and hopefully better yourself while preparing for a major like, the Masters coming up,
Okay, with the Masters, when you go into the Masters,
the first major tournament of the year, that is.
Studied that field. You have better have done your studies.
Oh, in Augusta, see. That's another thing I wanted to mention about the Masters here, really quick. A bit off topic, but I've said this many times before, and I'll say it again. I'm gonna put that on my bucket list. I know I'm 27 years old and saying that, but I want to put that. I want to visit that place at least once or twice before the day I die.
Who doesn't want to?
Yeah, before the day, I at least like to go over there and visit that. Probably one of the more beautiful golf courses in probably the United States, along with AT&T and of course Sawgrass.
Okay. Okay. With the Masters location in Augusta, I'm going to say this. There's also history on that golf course.
History's kind of an understatement, pal.
Well, I'm going to say, you look at, from what I've heard, there's actually a museum in there that shows all the legendary golfers who's ever golfed that course.
I'm not surprised.
Yep, so...
Basically, I'm pretty sure they got museums all over the place. I mean, it would be expensive just to play like a round over at Augusta. I mean, it would be super, super expensive.
Not if you're a member of that.
Well, if you're a member, then that's a different story. But just playing it just by itself, then
like for most people, if you want to play a public course, and you know what makes me mad though? A lot of times when I see people who go and they say, "Oh, we're gonna go golf," okay, I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna say this again. You do not golf in shorts and flip flops.
Well, actually, no. This is a funny. No, actually, it's funny that you say that because I actually have a funny story to tell. So, a few years ago, we were basically my dad, my brother, and I. We were getting together. We haven't seen each other forever, and we were going. We were in Sacramento. We were going to Hagen Oaks, right? Obviously, everybody knows Hagen Oaks and go to the California area. So. And this is the funny thing, the attire I was wearing, okay, I was in a collared shirt, right? So guess what else I was wearing that you just mentioned about 30 seconds ago?
Let me guess, shorts and flip-flops.
Yes, exactly. Both me and my brother were in shorts and flip-flops. And no, it gets better. And the funny thing, we went to the driving range, right? So we were hitting a couple of golf balls, whatever, and it took me like a few swings, get my rhythm back, And then as soon as I got my rhythm back, I was driving the ball at the driving range in shorts, basketball shorts and sandals, at least 280 on the fly and 300 yards on the landing. So I was basically thinking to myself, if I could do that wearing basketball shorts and sandals, how could I actually do that just actually wearing golf gear?
Right, but for me, okay, the last time I went golfing was with my dad, alright, and I went golfing, and seriously, people thought I was a pro, because I went out there, I had the pants, I had the shoes, but the pants I was wearing was not like Phil Nicholson and all that stuff, I was wearing the old school style, Scottish gear, you would see a guy who was golfing in Scotland.
Hey, I would actually wear something like that though too.
Yeah, and
if I went to Scotland, that is, I would wear that.
Yeah, but I was wearing it. We were at that golf course down in Lodi.
Oh, are you talking about Woodbridge?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We were golfing out there, and I had that gear on with the socks and everything.
Dear God Almighty.
I know, but still.
I mean, according to most people, he probably would have looked like a weirdo over there, but I don't think you cared.
My dad was laughing at my dad disowned me, and at the course, he said my dad was saying I disown you, and people were laughing at me. But the fact is,
you got wrecked.
Yes, but I learned from that, and I never will do that again. And I also learned.
And I thought the whole basketball shorts and sandals was bad. Oh my God!
If you're gonna go out there, you have to look right. When you're going on a golf course, please, you gotta do it right. You gotta do what you see on the pro-am and stuff. We weren't going on playing around. We were just screwing around on the driving range. But if you're gonna go to the shooting range, that's fine. But if you're gonna go on the actual course and actually play around, do it right. Please. Because it's a golf course. It's not an area where you can go and play some hoops and things like that. You gotta be right.
Alright, so going back to Pebble Beach here really quick, just thought I'd give you guys an update here. So the first place situation is still the same between Iwata, Ravy, and Phil Mickelson. So I just thought I'd get that update for you guys.
And Phil is just like,
No, he's been beasting right now. I mean, he's trying to get this together, for the Masters, and hopefully, this is the other thing.
Masters, though, for the Masters, you really have to, like I was gonna say, when you go to Augusta and you look at that golf course, before you even go there, the best golfers, they study the course.
And you want to know okay, actually I have a question to ask you. Is it sad that I want to prepare for the Masters more than, opening week of baseball? Is it sad?
No.
Be honest. Be honest.
Golf has been around for golf's history and everything.
I'm old school like that for some reason. Because opening week of baseball, wait, hold on a second. I can compare, opening week of baseball, to, of course, the Masters. So, opening week, that can go on for days, and after the first day of baseball, everybody just goes on about their business, waits till the second half, whatever. But with the Masters, it's annual. I'm pretty sure opening week is annual too, but for its own reasons. But the Masters has been around. It has its rich history, of course. You were saying with the museums and of course the background of the history. 12th hole, 13th hole, all the names that the holes have on, for each part of the area of the golf course is just absolutely amazing. Yeah, and it's definitely one of those situations where it's the Masters for crying out loud. It's annual. And then you can't really...
About this, I'm just going to say this. You think about this? Okay, when you look at golf too, it's also, if I remember right, seeing in the last Olympics, it was actually an Olympic sport.
Well, it used to be that way, but then they took it out though, because everybody thought, it's too boring, and that's where the Ryder Cup and the match play got involved though too, for supremacy rights.
Yes, but also when you look at this too, the other thing I look at when I look at the Masters is I look at a lot of the golfers that have played in the Masters and have done their right. A lot of movies have been made by those teams.
Yeah, I mean, people could say golf is boring, blah blah blah. Tiger's not in it, but even though Tiger's not, been around anymore, Yay! I still love the holy hell out of golf. No question about it. I mean, it's history. I love the majors. I played golf. It's so much fun. I mean, yeah, people are going to say again that it's boring, but that's because people pretty much have, no taste in sport. I mean, you haven't just don't knock it until you try it pretty much. I mean, you might find it fun.
You have to have an understanding, golf is not a sport. Okay, golf is not a sport where it's high impact. Golf.
Yeah. It's peaceful. It's relaxing.
Relaxing.
Yeah. And then you can just you don't have to worry about, you can worry about competition, doing match play and such, but it's all about having a good time, really.
Plus, it's not like you would see in hockey where you're not going to see too hot, you're not going to see too
I mean, sure, you'll rage a bit if you actually, hit a bad shot, but it's not that bad, though. Yeah, unless you go Happy Gilmore or some, BS, but other than that, it's very peaceful and relaxing.
That one dude who freaking, that one dude's he had that big ass nail in his head and he freaking beats up, it's like,
oh, you're talking about the dude.
You in the parking lot.
No, and you can count on me waiting for you in the parking lot. Ooh, better run, shooter, run for your life.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Or then you have, what's his name? That guy, he's where is he? Jackass. He's driving in that bug.
You ain't gonna make this putt, you jackass.
He's driving around in his, and he's driving around in that freaking Beetle, and he hits freaking.
Oh yeah, he hits the tower near the climax of the movie.
Yeah, and then
he's like, jackass! He just shouts.
Yeah, and then the other part I thought was great though was freaking Adam Sandler getting in a fight with Bob Barker.
Oh, friggin' Happy Gilmore getting in a fight with Nick Faldo and I won the tournament last year, and hopefully we could try to do it again this year. They end up dead last, and they start fighting each other.
Yeah.
I don't want a piece of you. I want the whole thing. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, you had enough? No, wait. Now you've had enough, bitch.
It's not like that was like, I don't care what anyone says. Like that was like hella great.
Yeah, you probably would want to see something like that in real life if you're Cowboy Nick.
Not in a golf course, I wouldn't.
Not in a golf course. But what if it actually...
Some dude running up to, like, I'm like golfing, I'm like having a good time on the golf course. I don't want to see some dude running up to me and he comes up to me and he's all like, where is he? Jackass. like freaking you come up to me and like freaking...
No, I wouldn't do that though.
Yeah, you would try to hit me with a bug and then like ram the car into the fuck.
No, then it'd be all over ESPN and breaking news and all of that. But
they would have that dude. They would have that slow down. You would have what's his name from God damn it, he's on the Shingles commercial talking about you.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about that. But we are going to talk about the fact that we're going to take our final break, and when we come back, we got Hockeytown coming up on the Pug-Cast episode 62. So we'll be right back here. Stay tuned for Hockeytown. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pug-Cast episode number 62. And you know what that means when it's the final segment of the Pug-Cast. Of course, we gotta go to every hockey fan's favorite segment of the show that we like to call, Hey, Hey, it's Hockeytown with Cowboy Nick.
Boy, it's Hockeytown. Some great hockey topics. Like right now we're gonna go up to Bremerton. We're gonna go up to the town of Bremerton where we have a player, a rookie class from the rookie class. So, professional hockey player, fellow similar paths to get to their goal through there may be a couple of different turns along the way, but proves to be no different for players on the Bremerton Senators. Rookie class 1 college athlete signed to a National Hockey League contract, 1 draft pick, and a juniors player will sign an American Hockey League contract. While they may not have all gotten to the AHL the same way, they have the same goal, to make hockey their career. Matt O'Connor, Nick Paul, and Ryan Penny are only a handful of players who respect the sent rookies but they all have the same drive to make their game the best it can be. Most players have memories of their early mornings on the ice with one or both parents looking on, and the previous to be on different from the newest B-Sins. Paul got his start in hockey young, being rink along as he could remember, thanks to his older brother who also played growing up. Penny also had his family to thank for his start after his dad taught him how to conduct himself and told him about the great things of hockey. Looking up to players like Pete Forsberg, Curtis Joseph, and the following similar NHL teams like Toronto Maple Leafs, the rookies began to move future towards their goals. I was a lot of sports, lacrosse, football, and hockey were the main ones, said Paul. I went to hockey and started to take it seriously. I went out every day in the summer and started working the best at all. As the rookies found out after choosing to go into hockey, most players who begin to move towards the professional hockey path need to make the decision whether to go to juniors or college. College versus juniors. Despite all the rookies getting offers on both sides, O'Connor was the only one to move towards collegiate playing. My family has always been educated focused, said O'Connor. My grandparents also wanted me to go to a university and my sister is at a university, so it became a dream before there was an opportunity to play major juniors, and I stuck with it. O'Connor started to move towards looking to the path and start in the States when he was in the 8th grade and applied to private high schools where a lot of really good hockey programs are. The goalie started playing mid-gets hockey before moving to the Central Canadian Hockey League, the CCC Hockey League. The Central Canadian Hockey League is one of the best, and the United States Hockey League, which is also a really good one. You can also go to play in Europe, things like that. A lot of people do. His hard work paid off after he started to go to get looks from colleges, and eventually played for Boston University, which is by far one of the greatest hockey teams, college hockey teams next to Minnesota. But if you look at it too as well, a lot of players from Boston and Minnesota did make were on the Miracle team, the Miracle U.S. Hockey team that went to play at Lake Placid and beat the Soviet Union and brought honor to the United States and made everyone see how cool and beautiful we are. I think that some things have to work towards O'Connor. It's really competitive in college. I'll keep it quiet between me and my family and hoped that there would be some opportunities to my future career after college. While he waited for his chance to play after college, O'Connor used his time both on and off the ice to continue to grow. The 23-year-old goalie played a total of 76 games, finishing his last year with a 2.18 goal against average and a .912 save percentage for BU. It was his time off the ice thought that made the experience worth it for him. College gives me more and things like that. So college gave him good times. He did really well his college years and then played in juniors. And then he went on to play, then O'Connor goes on to play for Birmingham Senators and Birmingham, Alabama, which is they are the American Hockey League for. The Senators are the minor league team for the Senators in Ottawa, so they're the minor league club for Ottawa. The Senators the Birmingham Senators, they are a pretty good team. They're not the best, but they're pretty good. So he is was voted Rookie of the Year for this year. So he's doing his part to become better. Now we're going to go on to the ECHL. In the ECHL, our story for the day was, if people would stop moving my crud around, was the story about, here it is. Here it is.
Stop moving his stuff.
I know, right? Seriously. Here it is. This is another rookie story, but this is a good one. This is from the Florida Everblades. The Everblades rookies, Justin Augusta and Matt Williams, share deep bonds. And the story goes, and I read this, and this is why I picked this. The camaraderie of Justin Augusto and Matt Williams goes back further than what they share with the rest of the Florida Everblades teammates. The rookies duels history steams back to their days playing in junior hockey in New Jersey, and their nearly pearly career paths brought them both to Astra. The thoughts part about hockey more than other sports is your develop relationships with guys from 8 months, and then you may not even talk to them again for the rest of your life. Augusto said, "It's pretty unique that Matt and I have managed to be close to each other for so long. When our hockey careers are over, we'll still be in touch playing beer league hockey together," which means we'll be at the bar drinking. Augusto 25 and Williams 24 have been certified factors in Florida's first place standing in the Eastern Conference this season. Williams, a forward, leads the Blades in scores with 40 points through 44 games, and Augusto, a defensive man, has accumulated 14 points through 28 games. "It is also great to be a part of a winning organization," Williams said. "I can't say enough about the coaching staff here and the whole organization from top to bottom. They make you feel at home. They let you play the way you know how to play. It's been a great fit for me. Their connection is more than having a shared home state of New York. The young pair has a uncanny ability to find each other on the ice and create exponential plays. Anytime you have a chemistry bond, you try to feed off that." Florida's coach, Greg Pose, said, "Augusta and Williams are really good on the power play together. They have a knack for finding each other. They are good friends off the ice, usually. If they are friends off the ice, then they have good chemistry on the ice." Augusta and Williams have leaned on each other while adjusting to the world of professional hockey. So these guys they're using each other, they're finding each other on the ice, they're working together as friends and doing well. By the way, for you folks over in, we're reading this also in Naples Daily News. So this is in Naples, which is in Florida. You're going to have a pretty good day of weather as well, as it is 62 out there. So enjoy yourselves.
Better than this kind of weather here.
Yeah, we're having some great weather here.
It's not bad, but I mean, the Florida weather is probably the best weather out there as of right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And right now we don't have any stories in the NHL, but we're gonna bring up some scores from yesterday. With the Islanders beating out the Los Angeles Kings 5-2. The Flyers over the Buffalo Sabres 5-1. The Ducks losing in secondary overtime to the Blue Jackets. The Senators losing by 1 point to Colorado. with a 4-3 loss. The Winnipeg Jets losing to the Boston Bruins. The Capitals winning against the Minnesota Wild. The Dallas Stars, formerly the North Stars, for all you folks that didn't know, winning over the Blackhawks 4-2. The Maple Leafs losing to the Oilers 5-2. And the San Jose, everyone's going to be mad about this. The San Jose Sharks losing in a shootout to Calgary 6-5.
Ooh, controversy.
Yeah, of course, because the fact is that the affiliate for this team is in California, and that is the Stockton Heat. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people who are in San Jose right now are probably madder than hell because a California
Civil War. Civil War inside the state.
A team that's from
Part
Canada, whose affiliate is from California, beat them, and they're probably mad. They're probably steaming. So,
like I said, Civil War. It's gonna come.
Exactly. And tonight we're gonna have some great games as Montreal.
Okay, don't mind that sound. Someone's just revving their motorcycle.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
As Montreal comes into Buffalo to face off against the Buffalo Sabres. The LA Kings going to New York to face off against the Rangers. The Penguins going to Carolina to face off against the Hurricanes. The Avalanche going to Detroit to face off against the Red Wings. Buffalo coming to Florida to face off against the Panthers. Blues, actually. St. Louis Blues coming in to face off against the Panthers. Predators coming into Tampa to face off against the Lightning. The Flames will be going to Phoenix to face off against, you guessed it, the Coyotes. These are your hey, it's Hockeytown, ECHL, AHL, and NHL updates. I am Cowboy Nick, and I hope you all have a great day, and don't forget to watch the NBA All-Star Game. Back to you, Kyle.
Which I am going to mention, actually. You actually forgot to, since Uncle Larry and your Uncle Ernie apparently knocked you so bad that you forgot to actually talk about the All-Star Game. Which is kind of, you were telling me that over the break, too.
Yeah, they knocked me so hard I forgot that it was today.
It's all,
Hey, my uncle's got a very big ring. So.
Yeah, he's bigger than Jerry Jones's rings. Well, then again. Oh.
Well, Uncle Larry doesn't have a ring, thank God.
Well, imagine if he actually did. Then it's
That
just
would've
like,
hurt bad.
boom. You would have like 2 broken cheeks instead of 1.
I would have been like, you would have been like, hey, look, it's Nick for the, hey, look, here's Nick for the show. Hi, guys.
No, you wouldn't be able to talk. You have like a fucking, whatchamacallit they would use. Like, not like, I forgot what they're called. They use them for their mouth.
One of those things. I'd have, fuck you, Kyle. I'd be typing words to talk to you. Kiss my ass, you know.
Yeah,
things
you'd
like
be
that.
like Stephen Hawking. Then again, your typing abilities, I wouldn't be able to understand one word you're gonna say.
Yeah, my words would probably come out.
Then the show would be literally screwed.
Yeah, my words would come out weird. It'd be like, what the luck, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that would be one of those situations where I'd be like, yep, I'm doing the show by myself. Or I'm gonna have Denublio come in and take your place.
No, hell no.
Actually, hell yes. No, I'm just joking.
But you know what I mean? Like, it's just like one of those things. It's just gonna be crazy.
It'd be crazy just a little bit. Not
Dude,
just
if I
crazy,
got knocked
though.
the hell out like that, I would be like...
Yeah, you would definitely be like, uh-huh.
Dude, I'd have a colotomy bag and stuff on me.
Yeah, just a bit. You'd be like, you'd be like in a wheelchair for like a year.
Like I've seen one of them electric wheelchairs driving down the street and stuff.
Yeah, just a bit. You'd be like one of those situations where it's just like, here, this is Cowboy Nick, I'm back in a wheelchair, and then you have like all your haters laugh at you.
Yeah, no kidding. As I have like I'd have like bling on my wheelchair just to be all cool.
But you wouldn't be able to afford the bling though. It'd be like just a regular wheelchair.
Exactly, but I would take it to the auto center, like one of those auto centers.
Yeah, who's gonna pay for it?
I would just steal it and just run out the store.
You trying to be able to do all that. Yeah, you're gonna get arrested first thing on the spot.
That? Kyle,
that's gonna be in the news. Be like, local disabled person decided to be funny to steal bling from an auto center and gets arrested and thrown 25 years to life in prison for committing several charges against the AutoZone place.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be something like that.
You know how bad you would be laughing to see them load me and my wheelchair into the
Yeah, that'd be kind of sad. I'd be like, yeah, this is what the world has come to.
You would laugh about it, don't you? You'd be laughing.
No, I wouldn't be laughing. I would just be saying that that's messed up how they would put a wheelchair person in. But then again, it would be kind of funny at the same time. But either way, that'll do it for the end of our show. And of course, we'd like to thank you all for joining us on Kyle the Pug Sports YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out my main channel at youtube.com/The Kyle Lodi Show. So with that being said, I'm Kyle the Pug, a.k.a. Kyle Lodi. That's Cowboy Nick.
Yeah! Taste the meat, not the beef. And y'all have a great day and enjoy your All-Star game. And don't forget to tune in again with Kyle for the next video he's going to make about his video gaming. And I hope he doesn't get one shot in the head again.
Well, other than that, you guys have a good day, and as always, stay safe.